Day to yous. Come on in, y'all. We are here for our midweek alchemy message where we're unpacking our approach to this week's spiritual lessons. This is day 2 on my Javian air dry curl cream. I definitely think it's doing better today than yesterday. I've still got damp hair, but you know, you never know. When you try a product, don't give up right away. Yesterday it didn't seem like it did much, but today, instead of washing my hair, I just tried to wet it and condition it without stripping yesterday's product and add more product today. So it's definitely giving me better curls, better waves. Anywho, so let's get into the reading. So for starters, we've got the uncreated, followed by the alchemical wedding, which is back from last week. No surprise there. And followed by calcification. Underneath the uncreated, we have the King of Cups. Underneath alchemical wedding, we have 10 of Wands. And underneath calcification, we have 3 of Pentacles back again. I think this was maybe one of our midweek cards last week. And then we had these 2 cards that came out together to finish the reading, which is 2 of Pentacles and Ace of Cups. All right, I'm gonna pause here and let you guys listen to the audio, and then we will come right back.
There is so much potential ready to be realized, major things ready to be revealed and solidified. The key is to listen to the swells of emotion that come right now. What are they telling you needs to change? What has been thwarting your efforts? What isn't returning value for you? What isn't returning value for what you give? We must proactively seek out what needs transformation and commit with a burning desire to make the changes that are ready to occur. Resist the temptation to backslide into old consciousness and old habits. Despite outward appearances, things really are coming together. What we need now is to approach the work with playfulness, to feed our inspiration and desire to keep going. This is the first stage of completion, which is really the launch point of the journey. Have patience. This phase will require task juggling and balance to be maintained and sustainable. Keep believing and stay committed regardless of whether you see any results yet or not. Remain flexible and teachable.
So I think yesterday I thought I read my planner wrong. The eclipse, the new lunar eclipse is happening in Pisces, but the general notes around that remain the same as far as humanitarian orientation, going out and giving yourself for the sake of others, channeling the light, not just to receive the light for the self alone, but to be a vessel of sharing. Just like Dolly Parton. She was an amazing vessel for the light. And I always say this about Trisha Yearwood and Garth Brooks as well. These are great examples because they have had so much success, but God can trust them with that success because they are stewards of those resources, and they continually let it pass through, and they pay forward and they give it away. Right? Whereas, the difference between that and greed and taking, it's not receiving, it's taking, it's hoarding, it's grasping for the self alone, and that kind of taking bears chaos, whereas receiving for the sake of sharing yields more and more and more light, bears more and more and more fruit. And no one is, exempt from the hardships of life, but we have looked on at these people, seeing that from what I have learned about working with these people and around these people in the industry, is that they are the ones that are the most joyous, the most light of heart. They have the most inner peace. They have the least turmoil and the least problems with the media and the public, because they are examples of what the Creator has in mind as far as what we were supposed to be as stewards of the garden, right? So when you're given and you continue to give back, you are blessed with more. And when you are given and you hoard and you grub it for yourself, then you are given steady warnings that increase in their volume and intensity until you get the point, or maybe you don't get the point. But either way, what is taken and is not meant for you, or is not also shared, is seeded with chaos. And that's why at the end of the week, when you get your money, you should give 10% away, because that cleanses your money and protects it from chaos. And then that 10% is then blessed, and everything amplifies from there. So we're in this eclipse portal, and there's all this potential. We're also in the month of Teshuvah, which is a month of genuine and sincere inner reflection and the effort to change and make changes and prepare ourselves for our spiritual new year and spiritual judgment day, so that we get the most ideal decree for the year ahead. We want to shape our destiny for the year to come with miracles. So we have the uncreated card here that represents all of the potential that is gathering and coagulating and crystallizing, and it's like crowning us in this potential that can come through right now. And the way to channel that, to be a vessel of that creation, that potential, that light, we have to come from a devoted and sincere and committed place. Where we talked about yesterday, the primal cry of the soul is that feeling of unsettled discomfort, and maybe even a feeling of rock bottom right now. This eclipse season is irritating those hidden emotions underneath the surface, so that they can tell us what is ready for change, what needs change. Our soul is yearning and crying and hungry and wants to go in a certain direction. And so the feeling of discomfort, the more uncomfortable it gets, the louder the soul is crying out, hey, come this way. So that's even better news, because you are even closer to a breakthrough, right? But even God can't help us reveal what is not brought to the surface. So all the discomfort right now is actually a gift, so that we can see and shine light on what needs to be transformed. What we are seeing is that discomfort is showing us where we are putting in all our efforts and getting nothing back. What has no long-term value? What has run its course and now has nothing left to give? What is leaving you depleted and tired and broken down under the weight of what you're carrying, and it's really giving you nothing in return? We're starting to realize these things, and we're paying attention to that internal guidance, and that we're making the transformative changes, integrating our shadow, breaking down egoic barriers, like going against our easy kind of natural inclination that is comfortable to us, and pushing ourselves outside of our comfort zone, restricting our selfish nature, our evil inclination, and instead proactively choosing more positive habits, more positive mindsets and consciousness and behavior. And so the more proactive we can be, making commitments, truly reflecting on what we could be doing different to be more like the light of the Creator, thereby drawing closer to the Creator, and then following through on those actions with commitment. I ran out of storage on my phone. So I got cut off while I was saying it's not enough to just keep going with commitment and perseverance, but to really stoke that craving and that desire to not only have what we want, but to do what it takes to be more like the Creator, to draw closer to the Creator. So the greater desire we have for change, the more intense that soul cries out, and that earnestness, that hunger is the thing that catalyzes the change. Which brings us to calcification. This is the fire in the lab, the heat, the desire, that passion that stokes the chemical process of change. And here we are with the Three of Pentacles. This card talks about being at the first stage of completion in building something, starting off at the beginning of a journey, but having skills, having mastered your craft to a certain degree. Other people can see that talent or see what you're offering, and they see that you have value and they want to work with you. Either it's like clients want to work with you, or mentors want to work with you, or collaborators want to work with you, but people see the value and they want to come together in a common vision to help you meet your aims, or they see what you're offering and they want what you have. But this isn't, already successful down the road. This is the beginning. I like to think of the first stage of completion as like sort of like when you hear about climbers going to Mount Everest. There's so much preparation in even just getting there to start the journey. And so it's sort of like being at base camp 1. We've gathered our team, we've got all our supplies, we've got our base camp ready. And now we're assimilating and we are about to start the journey, but we're reconvening, we're getting our ducks in a row, and we are assimilating to the altitude. But we are about to set off and embark on this new adventure. So don't look at your situation right now and see these humble beginnings and get discouraged. Just have patience and passion and continue to put that passion into what you're doing. And it's going to be important that we do that. And because like for a while, when you get something started, it takes a lot of juggling, Two of Pentacles. It takes a lot of task management and learning how to cultivate balance and learning how to use your energy and your time and your focus and your resources wisely. So it is a juggling act and it is a balancing act. But if you can come to this thing with a sense of fun and adventure and excitement and lightness and play, then it's going to keep you inspired and refreshed to continue going. The Ace of Cups, it's a new flush of emotional experience, a new chapter of love and relationship and creativity and emotional and spiritual renewal opening up for you. So to keep your cup overflowing, and I love the butterflies here for Dolly, and for transformation. It's like in order to do that, you want to lead with love and fun and openness and softness and flexibility and teachability, so that you stay inspired and like other people are attracted because they see that your cup runneth over. And not only are you going through a transformation, but your energy is transformative, not only to yourself, but the world around you and others as well. So that is all for today. You guys, I encourage you to go follow me on TikTok at Elizabeth Rose Loves, all lowercase, all one word. I've really posted some funny stories recently. I'm using that platform not only as my goal to be a creator affiliate, but also to be more of myself and let you guys learn more about my personality and who I am outside of trying to teach on a subject. So it's really fun. A lot of you guys have asked me for that kind of content, and it's only, you need to realize the strategy for each platform that you're at. So that kind of content would confuse the algorithm about my channel here. But if you really are interested in learning more about me, or just getting, a sense of some of my humor, some of my personal stories that I tell, go check out my account. And please engage with the videos. If you can, watch them all the way through. You can hold the screen down and double the time if you don't have time to sit through it at regular pace. Commenting 5 words or more is very helpful. It shows that you're not just a robot or spam. And if you can do that without an emoji, that's really helpful as well. But liking, commenting, anything that you can do to engage with the posts helps a creator. Anything that you're doing to absorb the content and not react at all actually damages the creator. So I'm trying to train you guys, if you could just remember while you're watching to like the video while you're already there. Comment if you are feeling generous, and using a few words rather than just leaving emojis really helps a lot, but I'll take what I can get, and I'm grateful for every bit of participation y'all give me. I will say this, a couple of weeks ago, I was getting exposure to like 50,000 plus, because a lot more of you decided to like the video. Even just like 10 likes on a video got me that kind of exposure. It increased my exposure by like 20 or 30,000. There a few more people were commenting, and then it all slowed down again, and the likes are less and the comments are less. So it makes a drastic change. I'm back to like 20,000, exposure. So it makes all the difference. And your participation, it makes or breaks content creators and their chances at getting their content out there to the people who need it. So I appreciate everything that you guys do to support, to watch, to encourage me, and I am asking for more. All right, ciao.